something that came up to me is digital, social media, connection and disconnection. And sometimes, you see a post and just for entertainment, I read the comments because I just wanted to see how people sometimes respond. And then on like X or Twitter, I can't even go on there because the responses are just so toxic.
I can't handle the vitriol on a lot of those.
But what does that show us about society, about us as humans, that we can be this rude to another person we don't know? Is it because just that it's another, or is it that the disconnect in ourselves have already happened so bad that we don't, because you show up as you are, not as the situation is? Because then we're really potentially in trouble if our disconnect is so bad that we need to lash out on strangers on social media. Okay,
Gosh,
I don't know
Hilda,
and I'm putting you in a big spot here now, but how do you, is there any, because I know people do it because they feel they're justified and they, like, this is just a dumb person making a post that I'm going to comment on this. And sometimes I just want to sit on my, I have to sit on my hands and I can't want to say something to make the person see my point of view. But I never was ever, I just feel it's so degrading for me to be rude to another person or made rude comments. So how did we get as a society that we think we can do that? And what does it say about connection in general?
I think part of it is a disconnection with ourselves and what we really value and what's important to us. Because I don't think any of us have be a jerk as a primary value. But I don't think most of us take the time to, or even think, to stop and go, what's important to me? And am I living into my values? For some folks, it's like what would Jesus do, right? That's at least a guiding factor for folks of Christianity faith. Some people would say it's a disconnect from God. I don't necessarily think that, because I don't think any of our definitions of God are the same, frankly. I think it's a disconnect from, like I said, our values and what's important to us. And I think part of that is because it wasn't validated when we were kids. So many of us grew up, children should be seen and not heard, at least in our generation, right? Children should be seen and not heard. I know for a long time, one of my challenges is that my voice doesn't matter. What's important to me doesn't matter. Whether it was because when I was a kid, we didn't have the money for me to do the things that I wanted to do, or because I heard more often than I care to count, you better stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about, or that's just puppy love, or any other, like, what was important to me wasn't as important as what was important to the adults around me. And if we don't feel seen, heard, and understood, we're going to lash out. We're going to fight for what's important to me.
And possibly the safe space would be, because there's no real repercussions or consequences, is just lash out online and on social media.
Absolutely.
Yeah.